What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. After our first 20 games, we finished with 15 wins. Could have been a little bit better on that one, could have been a little bit worse. In our first 9 games, we were 9-0. Oh my god, NepentheZ, you've referenced this a million I know. I don't know why I do that. I'm like, remember when I used to be really, really good for a very brief period of time? Let's all remember that again. I don't know why I do that. But when I was 9-0, I remember back to then thinking to myself, at 9 wins, 0 losses, I could actually quite easily have been like 6 wins and 3 losses, or 5 wins and 4 losses. There were some games in those 9 wins that were tough, that I edged, you know, that I scraped to win through. So when I then went and won 6 of the next 10 to go 15-5, I think I said like a fair reflection, in my opinion, of the results there would have been maybe 16-4 or 17-3, but actually in hindsight, thinking backwards to the first 9 games and how some of those were quite difficult, I would say maybe 15-5 was actually a fair reflection of how the games could have gone. It was then on me to sit there and kind of like think, what am I going to do here? You know, 15-5 is a good, not a great position to go into elite for the month, for the week even. You know, 15-5, if you do that again for the next 20, you finish 30-10. 30-10 is elite, happy days. But I always go through stages of good win streaks and good loss streaks, and then it depends on my mentality and my composure and my ability to forget and blow off the bad losses as to whether or not I can get out of those loss streaks and carry on, you know, going on winning. And what happened here is we got 7 consecutive wins. And I actually think I was 12-5 at one stage as well. So I do believe I actually won 10 games in a row. But we went from 15-5 to 22-5. And then I lost 2. And then I won 1. And I finished today's video on 23-7, which is good. And two of the losses, one of them was a fair loss. I'll talk about it right at the end of the video. One of them was just retarded. Anyway, comments. Crazy as 10 says, Nep, do you think that EA should add a wager game mode? Like, before I even finished reading this, my answer was yes, but the answer is no. He says, so you can enter, say, 50,000 coins, and so could your opponent. The opponent would be random, so it'd be harder to match up with someone you know, so it'd be harder to transfer coins, and whoever wins best out of 3 could keep the coin total. It would be a lot of fun to the game. It would make sure people pay when they lose, keep up the good content. And then you said a silly word at the end, because people think that they're funny when I say, please don't do things, and then they're like, let me do it anyway. So, screw you, dude. Yes, a wager mode would be fantastic. Like anything like that, and I wonder, like, one of my thoughts, one thing that I've asked for some years now has been a custom tournament and custom league system. One of them free to enter, so that I can just create a league, and me and some of you guys can join into the league. We can all play against each other, and then, you know, I can personally reward the person that wins the league. But also a league where 10 of us, again, you know, me and 9 of you guys, we all pay 10,000 coins into this pot. EA can take 15% of that and just throw it away like they do with regular tax, but, you know, bumper tax on it. So 15,000 coins of that 100,000 coins goes. 10 of us, 10,000 coins entry, and then with the 85,000 coins left, first place gets 40,000 coins, second place gets 20,000 coins, and third place gets 15,000 coins, and then 4th down to 10th get absolutely nothing out of it. Something like that, I think, would be amazing for the game, and I think it would bring a lot more creativity on YouTube and Twitch, and it would just be a lot of fun. It would incite a lot more competition in the game. But the problem is gambling. And as someone who's pretty brushed up on the knowledge of online gambling and so on and so forth right now, for some reasons that you guys are probably aware of. It would require FIFA becoming an 18-rated game, which would basically diminish most of the user base of FIFA, which would in turn reduce massively the profits of EA through FIFA, which is not something that they want to do, and thus I can't see it coming into the game anytime soon. KSKSJSJS says, I'm going to keep this nice and short. By the way, can I just say something? Anyone that uses Reddit here, you'll know I'm a big fan of Reddit. Like, I've got some haters on Reddit. I've got some mildly uninterested people on Reddit. I've got some people who go out of their way to just be a dick to me on Reddit, you know, so on and so forth. But for the most part, I think Reddit is a good place. It's got a lot of good conversation. They raise a lot of good, valid points, and in general, it helps me a lot. You know, I've learned some things from Reddit. I find some of my information through the game from Reddit. Nothing bothers me more on Reddit than when somebody posts a topic that is like 3 sentences long and then still does a too long didn't read that is about 2 sentences long. I just think, what? There wasn't too long in the first place that nobody read it. It was like 3 sentences. Relax. Anyway, KSJSJS reminded me of that because he says I'm going to keep this nice and short, which he did. He says, why can't EA just make it that if you're winning or drawing a game and you disconnect, you don't get the loss and you can just repeat the game? Because I don't think they... Well, I mean, because... Like, it's just... For the want of not being rude to you, it's idiotic. If I'm winning a game and like maybe it's the 90th minute and I'm about to... I've just given up a penalty and a red card... Boom, switch my Xbox off, I just get to replay that game. If I'm drawing a game in the 90th minute and I give up a penalty and a red card, boom, just switch my Xbox off, that's a disconnect. Oh, don't worry about it, just replay the game. If it's, you know, that if I come up against hashtag TAS and I'm like, oh, shit, this is hashtag TAS. Boom, just switch my Xbox off. Don't even have to play a minute of the game. Just switch my Xbox off, replay the game, come up against someone new. It would be far, far too easy to exploit, and due to that, it will never be in the game. Theo Hardy says, hi Nep, for FIFA 18, do you think that we should be able to access players' in-game stats, traits and specialities from their bio on the actual player card? For me, this would be a lot easier and would be really useful. Yes, I absolutely do. However, I was talking to Marius Hjerpsith, used to work for EA, some years ago. I was talking to him about a month or 2 ago on stream about some stuff, you know, scripting, handicap, momentum, a lot of things, all things FIFA essentially. And one of the problems that he alluded to, and I'm not sure how true this is or how accurate this is or you know, so on and so forth, but I think he alluded to the fact that a user interface overhaul is not an easy task. It's not like they can just add it and then that's it. Like supposedly, it seems like it's a lot of work. And I've explained this before to a lot of people. The Ultimate Team is not a huge team. It's a development team that have priority lists, that have deadlines that they have to meet, that have a budget that they have to fit within. And they, you know, they are not the corporate overlords at EA making all this money. A lot of people, like I see a lot of people give a lot of shit to some of the devs on Twitter. And I sit there and I just think, dude, like you're picking the fight with the wrong person. Like you're picking a fight with a guy who loves this game because he makes this game. Do you not think the devs of this game know that certain things are wrong or would want to do more with this game, but they just can't because they have their hands tied by their, you know, their uppers basically. So it's sad, but the truth probably is the case that even if the devs are sitting there, you know, lunch one day, like, you know, oh, let's all go for a coffee and a donut, because it's probably what they eat and drink at lunch, I would assume. And they're probably all sitting around their big table that's just a dollar sign, because it's EA after all, and it's green because it's the colour of money. So they're all sitting there around that, and they're drinking out of their diamond cups. You know, they're drinking their water straight from the mountains out of their diamond cups, and they're thinking, you know what we should do, guys? We should add the in-game stats on the card. And then they probably genuinely sit there and think that. They're probably sitting there thinking, like, we would love to do this, and we would love to do that, and we would love to do this. And then big old EA corporate overlord stumbles into the office and just takes all those diamond cups and fucking shoves them in his mouth, and now he's got diamond plated teeth because he's the EA boss. And that's a terrible story, really. I actually lost the point of it. I was so, like, my mind just went off with diamond cups. I don't even know why I got to diamond cups. My whole point was that the dev team don't have the money. And then I said that they sat on a table that's a dollar sign and is green, and they drink out of diamond cups, which completely contradicts the point of the story, which in turn has turned out to be a horrendous story that isn't even relevant to the point of the question. So I've gone way left field, that's right, but I've gone way left field, all the way over there, because that's left. And I'm now contemplating cutting that whole bit out of the video. So next question. Messi King 11. Let's not be silly about things. He's a great football player. He's not a king. He's literally not a king. got proof of that. He's not a king. Hey Nep, do you think international reputation should be removed from FUT? Personally, I don't see the point in it, as it's just an excuse to bump people's rating up for no reason. Love to hear your thoughts on this. It's interesting that you say you don't see the point in it, and then emit the point to it. The whole point to international reputation is to bump people's rating up for no reason. Do I think it's sensible in the game? No, not really. And it's one of those reasons why there's misconceptions of, oh my god, this player's so low rated, but he's ridiculously good. Someone like Kante, for example, doesn't have the top tier international reputation because of the fact that he came from Leicester. He doesn't have much appearances for France. However, next year, I'm sure he'll get the 5-star international reputation, which will mean next year Kante will probably be a 85 or an 86 rated base card. You know, the stats may well be the same, but because of international reputation, boom, he gets much higher rated card. It comes back to the point of, first of all, and it almost goes back to that last comment. First of all, it comes back to the point of the face card stats and the number on the card aren't always the true picture of everything. But also, number two is that we should have access to everything without having to go to exterior websites or without having to go into a game to pause the menu. You know, if there's an 81 rated midfielder that has better stats in more key areas than an 84 rated midfielder, and the only reason why the 84 rated midfielder is rated 84 is because of international reputation, we should be able to see those discrepancies so that we can make an educated decision on who to put in our team and why. I don't understand anything else. So yeah, the overall stat on the card is absolutely useless. It is meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless, and to a point that mostly the actual stats on the cards are pointless, because I've explained before, you can have someone with 90 pace that is actually slower than someone with 80 pace just because of the way the stats are divvied up. For example, someone with 90 pace might have 80 acceleration and 99 sprint speed. No, 99 acceleration, but 80 sprint speed. So they can only get up to 80 sprint speed, but they just get there really fast. But then alternatively, you can have someone with 80 pace on the face card of the stat that has 85 sprint speeds and 75 acceleration. So they're faster, it just takes them longer to be faster. So yeah, the face card stats, they never have told the whole picture, which is why there's always been hidden gems, why some players feel overpowered, why some good players feel like trash. For example, someone like Iniesta, he just doesn't fit the meta of FIFA. He just doesn't. He's got good dribbling, which is half important in FIFA. Good passing, which is just not really important at all. His shooting's average, his defending and his physicals are average, his pace is average. Like in general, like Iniesta is an 88 rated card who's one of the best midfielders in my time, is absolutely trash bags on FIFA. And then you get someone like, who would we go with? Kovacic, who's just shouldn't be good, is really, really good. So yeah, I don't know. Grotz Bonds Wolf, that was a mouthful to say. It says, which team of the season players are you looking out for, Nep, and why is that? This year, dude, I don't know. Most years I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this guy's team. Usually I'm like, I can't wait for Gareth Bale's team of the season, because Gareth Bale always gets shafted in team of the year because, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Griezmann, Suarez, etc., etc. And then recently, he's also been very unlucky to not get Team of the Season cards. I thought last season he was a shoo-in for Team of the Season, and he didn't get it. This season, I don't know. He's been injured again, hasn't he? And he hasn't. He had a good start to the season, but he's just. I don't know if he's going to get Team of the Season again this season. Usually I'm just like, yeah, give me those La Liga gods. But this year, because of how much EA have boosted players, and because of the fact that so many of the good cards already have really high rated cards, like Wesley Sneijder, for example, there's going to be a lot of really, really good cards come out of Team of the Season that might actually, for the first time, make other leagues viable to use in a competitive level. For example, Tolisso, if he gets a Team of the Season, look at that goal that I conceded, by the way, just retarded. If Tolisso gets a Team of the Season, it's going to be retarded good. Again, someone like Wesley Sneijder, someone like Talisca, there's a lot of guys from the Turkish league and from the Dutch league that could just be absolute god tier players after they get these huge upgrades for Team of the Season, assuming that EA continue with the huge upgrades that they've given for the informs and Man of the Match cards and such into Team of the Season. Of course, I could possibly be wrong there. Darden Gerguri says, why don't you just get some of the gym stuff in your own house? You can spare 1 hour of gas and you can hit the gym more often. Yes, it's a smart idea. It is a smart idea. I have many reasons as to why nots and why fours. Right now, it's just financially not the right time to start spending money on gym equipment when I have a gym membership. And you know, time is the real kind of like value right now. But I've got quite a huge garage that I don't need to use because we've got enough space on a driveway to park the cars that I will eventually get turned around, you know, like kitted out properly into a proper gym. And at that point, yeah, you know, like I'll be able to go at any time. One of my biggest problems is because of the time I go to bed, which is usually around 3 to 5 a.m. Like for me, the prime time to go gym would be like 10, 11 p.m. You know, just before I'm about to ready to wind down. I've still got good energy. I'd still be able to give a good workout, but all the gyms around me are closed at those points. So it's not really the most ideal time in the real world to go to the gym, but for me it would be ideal. So if I could get the equipment for my house, and I know you could say you could just get little bits of equipment here and there. I have a bench, I have dumbbells, I have a barbell, I have a Z bar. But I'm one of these people that is an all or nothing kind of guy, and it's like if I'm gonna make time to go to work out, I don't want to just half-arse it with a few things that I've got here or there. I'd rather just either not do it at all or do it completely properly. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. D's Tack says, I really enjoy listening about your real life instead of just FIFA. Maybe you could do fitness journey or vlogs or something, because I really enjoyed hearing about the talk of your life and stuff. So I enjoy talking about my life. Less so recently, just for the simple fact that I don't do as much with my life over the last few years than when I had a full-time job at the pub and did things with my weekends and stuff. Because right now most of my life is just FIFA. Because you know I've got a very small window of opportunity to make money from YouTube, from this social media industry. You know, an opportunity that not many people have, and I'm very, very grateful for and thankful to you guys for allowing me to be able to do this. And I don't know when this bubble is going to burst. And in fact, just this week, there's been a scare for ad revenue because a lot of huge advertising companies are pulling their money from Google because the ads are placed on videos that are linking to ISIS and terrorist organizations and stuff, and they don't want their product to be associated with that kind of material on YouTube. So for the time being, a lot of huge advertising agencies have pulled their or halted their advertising until Google can create a way to safeguard their ads on YouTube. And with that, YouTube revenue has dipped, and with that means for me I make less money, which is fine. I've got, you know, I'm not here saying I'm ungrateful or I don't make enough money. I make plenty of money, but it's one of those things where it's like, holy crap, anything could be the reason why this just ups and stops one day, you know. 2 weeks ago, I never would have sat here and thought, oh, all the advertisers are going to pull their revenue. And now it's like, holy crap, all the advertisers are pulling their revenue. You don't, like, this industry, this media age, this internet age, it changes so quickly that you don't know what's going to happen on 1 week to the next. So in terms of talking about my life and stuff, it's hard for me to do things and such because I don't have, I need to make the most of what I've got available to me now for as many years as possible, so that then I can go back to enjoying my life and so on and so forth. But definitely more to talk about with that in the next video, and I'm probably going to continue on to the next video from this point and this question, because I think it's a valid question and I do have a lot to say about it. But unfortunately for this episode, we are out of time. So we end up finishing, like I say, on 23 wins after the 30 games, which was pretty decent. And yeah, let's get into the live reactions. So guys, we find ourselves 23-7 after 30 games. That's not bad, especially, like, it is bad and it's not bad. Like, we was 9-1, of course, and then 15-5. So to now be 23-7, that's 8 wins, 2 losses out of the batch of 10 games. I lost back-to-back games after winning 7 in a row in today's video. And I tell you, one of the games I lost like 5-3 or 5-4 or something. It was just a super open game that on another day, if I got 1-0 ahead and my opponent was still just attacking, so I was countering him. And if I would have managed to put away one more of my chances and gone 2-0 up, I have full confidence that I would have gone on to, walk the game. But for some reason, like a few unlucky bounces, a few missed opportunities from me, he was attacking so heavily, and I was made to be punished for bad defending, essentially. So fair play. I don't necessarily think I was unlucky to lose the game. I think he thoroughly deserved it because he went so aggressive offensively, even when it was 4-3. I had a goal kick and he had 3 men back. He was still all out attack or ultra attacking, and it paid off for him. And that's my bad. When you don't I don't come up against people that play like that very often. So it's a different kind of scenario. Like you're playing against someone where you're like, oh my god, this guy is just all out attack from kickoff. Because I'm so used to playing against people that are so defensive and so passive, it was just a shock to the system and I couldn't adjust quick enough, and he ended up outplaying me and getting the win. And then in the very next game, we come up against a 5 at the back dude who had no intention of playing the game. I get one of these dudes every 3 or 4 weekends where they literally play for penalties or just play to frustrate you and hope that you make a mistake. And I didn't even make a mistake. I was aggressing when I got the ball. He played one through ball. I eased him off of it, got the ball with Marcelo. The keeper did that thing where he just stood still. And then Marcelo and the keeper both went for it when it was on the line and put it in the back of the net. I don't know how it didn't go down as an own goal. I thought it was an own goal. It went down as a Jamie Vardy goal because he got the touch as he was trying to run through. And then after that, again, it's one of those situations where when you're 1-0 down, and I was coming off the back of that previous loss, and I was 1-0 down, and this is what I talked about 2 episodes ago, where I've got to stop letting this sort of stuff bother me. And as long as I play my best FIFA, I'll be fine, because I don't believe I played my best FIFA in those 2 games. Like that second game that I lost, after that, the guy literally was just playing it around his back line. I had to go attacking to try and get the ball back and high pressure to do everything I could to try and win the ball back. And then off the back of that, he played a couple of counters in and ended up scoring a couple more goals. But 2 losses there that should could have been wins. But we pulled our record back after starting so strong and then having a bad Saturday. We pulled it back again, and now I'm only 6 wins away from elite. So I think now. No matter what, as long as I can reach it, I think I'm just going to go for elite this week. I need 6 wins out of 10 games. That's a 60% win rate. I'm well above that record right now. Right now I'm going on about 6 wins out of every 8 games. Actually, about maybe 6 wins out of every 7 games, or 7 wins out of every, no, maybe even more, like 7.5 wins every 10 games I'm going. So I'm on course to get elite. And I might just do it just in case Ronaldo and Messi, who both scored for their nations, get informed next week. I want to have that informed pack. And then for the month, obviously, the more I progress this week, we've got 100 wins now for the month. Really, really bad return for me this month. I've had a horrible month. And I knew I was playing bad the last couple of weekend leagues. Even not last weekend, the weekend before, where I actually got Elite 3. I was even playing bad that weekend as well. And I had the DC losses and stuff, and it was just getting a bit too much. But today, as you can see, we've got 100 wins now. We're only 20 wins away from Elite 3. If I can go and get the extra 6 or maybe even 7 or 8 wins today in my last 10 games, that'll put me to a point where next weekend, gold 3 and done. Depending again where I'm at in terms of like the weeklies. Like right now, because I'm so close to being able to get to elite, if I get to gold 1 in 2 wins and I lose 2 more games or 3 more games on the way to gold 1, I probably won't try and get elite. If, however, I win my next 2 games or 2 of my next 3 games, I'll almost definitely try and move on to elite. But we're going to get to gold 1 this week, which is nice. We didn't. What did I get last week? Gold 2 last week, and I've just had a horrible weekend. But gold 1's going to be good regardless. Those 200k packs, or if we can push on to elite, I'll be even happier with that. Just to take a look at the team real quick again, guys. I'm actually enjoying this team right now a bit more than previous teams used. This defense is really good. I've got a big problem with defending, and I'm trying to obviously focus on my game and see what's wrong so that I can improve and become a better FIFA player. And one of my biggest problems is holding second man press a little bit too much, but then also not understanding the most opportune moment to switch from controlling the midfielder to controlling the defender. There are some times where I'm running back with the midfielder and my opponent's ahead of me and I can't get back to him. So what ends up happening is I just end up chasing him all the way down to the box, and he either gets a shot or a through ball and scores. Whereas at that point, when I realise it's a lost cause, I should switch to the centre-back and either back off and allow him in and then try and get the ball off of him or block a shot, or push up and try and steal the ball. And I'm getting that side of the game wrong. I like quite badly. Like I'm switching too late, where where I'm causing myself problems like that. Sometimes I'm switching too early, and it's making me the midfielder then stop what he was doing and be out of the play, where it would have been better having him in the play. So I need to find the right balance of switching between my midfielders and my defenders. And I've honestly, if I didn't use the finesse shot so much, I would remove my RB button, because second man press is just the death of me so many times. As I say, though, I'm enjoying this team. Martial has scored some banging goals. I really like having the blistering pace up front. He hasn't got a very good return for me, mainly because he's actually played a lot of games off the bench. But goal to game ratio isn't really that important this deep. For Hazard, nearly 1,000 games. Over 900 goal contributions as well, nearly 1,000 goal contributions. But having 91 pace Hazard, who actually gets 99 because of Hunter, and 93 pace Martial, who I think gets 98 because of Hawk. Actually, probably 96 because he doesn't get the full boost, and then 95 pace Theo Walcott. This attack it genuinely scares people into making very silly defensive errors. What's really interesting is, again, when I took Fernandinho out for the 10 games on Saturday, was it because I played on Saturday? I don't know. I lost more games with Fernandinho out of the team. I put him back into the team, and one of the reasons why I took him out of the team is because he's not good enough in the offensive third, where I find him lots. And I've put him back into the team, and we went 9-1 with him in the team, then 6-4 with him out of the team, and then 8-2 with him in the team. And again, 2 games that could have gone either way. So I have better results with him in the team, but I feel like I play worse. So I don't know what I want to do with that. I would love to put a 4-star midfielder in there, a 4-star BPL midfielder, like a Paul Pogba. I don't know if I have anyone that's 4-star that we could put in there. Anyone that's like usable and 4-star. Or just a bit more creative offensively, really. There's nothing that I'm too interested in there. I mean, we could go with like Arnautovic on 7 chem. Could go Depay or Bolasie on 7 chem, and then Chadley's 3-star skill moves as well. So unless I put someone like Paul Pogba in there, the only 4-star skiller is Roberto Firmino, and I could do that and have I might go like that. So this is going to be the team leading into the last 10 games, guys. And this Firmino card, I absolutely love it. I think it's so good. People sleep on this card. But this is going to be the team going into the final 10, guys. I'm hoping to push on to Elite. I'll actually be quite upset now if I don't end up making up, all the way up to Elite. I really think at this stage I should do. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.